Hi, everybody, and welcome to Wheel Life Connections. I'm so excited that you're here and able to watch this presentation. I wish we could be together in person this year, but I do understand the circumstances, and I can't wait to meet all of you next year. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit of motivation today to hopefully keep you going in times of stress and worry and things like that. So let's get started. So who is Wheel Life Connections? So my name is Sarah Gaver. I am the founder and creator of Wheel Life Connections. I am 26 years old from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm a graduate of the University of North Florida with a degree in healthcare administration. I work as a healthcare recruiter full time, and then on the side, I get to run Wheel Life Connections. So Wheel Life Connections was founded in 2018. Our mission is to bridge the gap between those inside and outside the disability community and just help create equal access for everybody. Wheel Life Connections is actually built on three foundational pillars. They are to become fearless, stay motivated, and always push for more. I believe that if you can use these three pillars, you'll be building a strong foundation to living a life without limits. So today we're going to talk about these three pillars and what it takes to be able to accomplish each one of them. All right, so pillar number one is to become fearless. The first thing that I consider a good quality step towards becoming fearless is to always try. So in the picture prior, you saw myself standing on the TEDx Jacksonville stage. I've always grown up being a shy person, having a disability and not really knowing how other people will react to me. I kind of kept to myself when I was growing up. And when I hit college, I decided I needed to step out of my shell and really just try new things because if I didn't, I wasn't sure where life was going to go and if I was going to be able to accomplish the dreams that I had in mind. So TEDx Jacksonville was an amazing experience. I had never really had a public speaking opportunity like that before. And my professor said, why don't you just try? And so I did, and there was 350 people in the audience and 7 different TV cameras all on you while you're trying to remember your entire speech, which was 11 and a half minutes long. So it was an amazing opportunity. But if I didn't just try, I don't know that I would have been able to go through with the experience and have the time that I had. Step number 2 is to self affirm. So, always giving yourself positive messages back. It really helps with brain function and your cognitive ability to accept things and do new things. So, self affirming positive affirmations. So, things like, I am disabled, but I am able to change the world, or I am a fighter, or I believe that I can do all things and that there are no limits for me, or that I am overcoming my obstacles today. All positive things that help rewire the way we think so that those negative things aren't always there and aren't always on our mind. Number 3 is overcoming limiting beliefs. So there's a lot of things going on in our world today around us, the people that we interact with. And a lot of times people can say, oh, you can't do that, or oh, that's not something you can do, or oh, sorry, you're in a wheelchair. We're not able to have access for you. And so those beliefs start to get in your mind. And then when you go to do something new, you're very quick to shut yourself down and say, no, I can't do that either. They're right. I can't do that because there isn't access, or because I'm in a wheelchair. I can't walk. I can't do that. So overcoming those limiting beliefs and just proving to your inner self that you can do these things is so important. And lastly, to becoming fearless is to just take control. There's a saying out there that you can only control what you can control. So there may be a lot of outside factors and outside circumstances and events that may try and take control over what you want to do or what your goals are. But remember that you can't control those outside factors. You can only control what's certain and what's in control for you. So those are how you become fearless. I do have a quote to share with you from one of my mentors. He did say, fear is the biggest disability of all, and it will paralyze you more than your chair. So, becoming fearless is a great way to step out of your comfort zone and start achieving the dreams you really want to achieve. Our second pillar is to stay motivated. Staying motivated is really hard for anybody. It's hard to stay motivated all the time. When something goes wrong or we fail at something, it's really hard to keep going. So, this is a really important pillar and foundation. So, for staying motivated, the first thing I encourage you to do is to develop your positive mindset. There's a lot of ways to develop a positive mindset. I think my favorite way is reading. I love to read about mindset building and encouragement and developing your inner self and being a true leader. There's great books out there by so many mindset leaders, and it's really a phenomenal way to just continue building and helping your brain go, yes, I can do this. And yes, I definitely know that there are opportunities out there for me. It really eliminates and gets rid of a lot of those negative things. The second one is to lead with love. So, leading with love first means that sometimes we don't always lead with ourselves in mind, but we lead with others in mind. We're always out looking for others to be able to help shape who we are and help accommodate the things that we need. But we have to remember that there are people out there who need love as well. So, when you lead with love, you show people that there is no difference between you and them. It's all about abilities and how can we become creative so that both of us can accomplish the same goal. So I may paint differently than you paint because I paint with my mouth and you paint with your hand, but with a little bit of creativity, we can still create the same picture. So it's really just about making sure that both parties are being able to have the same opportunity. And then living purposefully. So when I was in college, which was a challenge in itself, being able to go off to school independently while being in a wheelchair and having a disability, I loved it. It was such a great opportunity to be able to expand on my independence and really grow as a person. And so while I was there, I realized that not a lot of people with disabilities have the same opportunity that I created for myself. And so when I came to realize that that was currently an issue, living purposely was so important. I decided that I may face all these challenges while I'm going to college, but I need to make sure that I document how I overcome them because my purpose is to then teach other individuals who want to go to college and live out the same dreams and their own dreams that I could go ahead and build that foundation for them. So I created a project when I was in college called Project Closer. And it's the opportunity where our students on campus become caregivers for our students with disabilities on campus so that you could have equal access and feel like you really fit in the college setting. It was great for our students in the nursing programs because they were able to get the experience they needed being a caregiver or a CNA, if you know what that term is. So it was a great opportunity for both sides to be able to come together and join and give everybody the opportunity to live and experience their dreams while they were in college. And so it's just a great experience all around and really taught me how to live in the moment, but to live for a purpose. And so that's really important. And the last one in staying motivated is to write it down. So I don't know about you, but sometimes I come up with all these crazy ideas that I'm ready to go share with the world, and then I forget to write them down. And 3 days later, I'm like, oh my gosh, what was that crazy idea that I had? And so I'm not afraid to write things down. I'll write things down on post-it notes and stick them all around my house, in my car, I can stick them at work on my desk. I'll make them pop up as reminders on my phone because the more you write it down, the more you'll stay true to the fact that you want to have something done. So keep in mind what those goals are and write them down, even if it's a small goal, a large goal, something that you can accomplish years in the future, or something you can accomplish tomorrow. When you write it down and you check it off, it's such a great feeling to be able to have completed that, and that'll keep you motivated to complete the next step. And my last pillar is to always push for more. So, my favorite quote is there's no greater disability in society than the inability to see a person as more. So, you are definitely not defined by your disability. I believe that very truly. I have arthrogryposis, which not a lot of people know a lot about, but it doesn't define me. It just shapes who I am. And I love it. I love being able to experience life from a different perspective. When I was growing up, there isn't a lot of role models out there for me. So being in a wheelchair, I could watch on TV, and there was never an actor in a wheelchair. There was never a singer in a wheelchair, and I was like, "There's nobody I want to grow up to be like." Until I realized that my purpose here was to grow up so that our generations to follow now have people to look up to and follow. So one goal I had when I was a young girl was that I wanted to be in a pageant. I thought there should be no reason why. There's no reason why that I couldn't do anything that any other girl I was watching on TV or seen in class or anybody else could do. So I decided I was going to try pageant life, and it was so exciting. My very first pageant I entered was National American Miss. I was one of 67 girls. Of course, the only one in a wheelchair, but I thought it was so amazing to be able to put myself in that position and really just open the eyes of everybody. We had so much fun, and nobody really thought any different of it. And that year I placed top 15, not really knowing what I was doing, and just really enjoyed it. So from there, I found a pageant that was more about building women in wheelchairs through leadership. And it was such a phenomenal empowerment experience. We had 10 girls the year I competed in 2015. We were all full-time wheelchair users, but we all had different stories, yet we could all connect at the same time. So the year I competed, we had presentations, we had public speaking opportunities, we had interviews we had to go through. It was a process to be able to win that title of Miss Wheelchair Florida. And so in 2015, I took home the title of Miss Wheelchair Florida, and I have never looked back. I loved being able to empower people through public speaking, through sharing my story, and for just really feeling like there's really a strong advocacy skills that come behind having a title like that. So that year, I competed for Miss Wheelchair America, which, if you've never heard of it, you definitely should follow the organization and see if there's an organization around you as well. It's a great opportunity to meet so many independent and empowering women who utilize their wheelchairs across the entire country. So I think 26 states competed when I did. I still have so many sisters from that event that I wouldn't know what to do without them. And so um, I came in second, I think, to Miss Wheelchair America 2016, and I was just blown away by the experience. We were in a whole other state. It was a whole week long event, and it was just such an eye opening and wonderful time to be able to feel included and to be able to feel like, that was my calling, to be that role model. And so I continued my journey through being an empowerment speaker and kind of through pageant life. And just this past year in January, I was the first woman in a wheelchair to ever compete for Miss Florida USA, and I was Miss Jacksonville USA. I got crowned her in late November of last year, and then competed in January. I was the first one in a wheelchair ever. um, I didn't place this year, but I had a phenomenal experience. I met some of my lifelong friends from a weekend that I got to spend in Miami doing the event, and I wouldn't know any other way. I loved it. I love being able to get out and enjoy brand new opportunities, because every time we enjoy a brand new opportunity, we break down a barrier that was set from before. And so I just always encourage you to just push a little bit harder, even if it's a one step closer, one more ramp, one more set of grab bars, one more opportunity to have a push button on a door so that you can get into the door and out of the door safely. Anything and everything, it's always important to push for more. So here's the things that get you to push for more. The first one is don't settle. Don't ever let anybody tell you you can't, and just settle for it. When I first moved here to Florida, I'm originally from Pennsylvania. My mom and I went from hospital to hospital here in Florida, and nobody had ever heard of what arthrogryposis was. And so we went to 5 different hospitals, and they said, yep, Sarah's never going to be able to walk. Sarah's never going to be able to do this. She's not going to go to college. She's not going to be able to drive a car. She's just not going to be able to do it. And we got so discouraged listening to these doctors say, she can't, she can't, she can't. When really, she can. I drive my own car. I have gone to college. I've graduated with a degree. I have a full-time job. No, I may not be able to walk, but maybe there's just a yet still on the end of that. Who knows what's coming out with technology and everything that's going on and new medical advances? There's so many opportunities out there, but I don't believe in the words I can't. I never use the words can't, because there's always a way. My way just might be different from yours. The second thing is to prove them wrong. So going along those same lines, those doctors said, nope, Sarah's never going to be able to go to college. She's never going to be able to get a degree and do something in society like everybody else because she's confined to her wheelchair and she's always going to need care. Okay, that's fine. I'm always going to need care. And guess what? I live independently with care. I have caregivers now. I work a full-time job. I graduated top of my class at the University of North Florida. And I'm still proving people wrong every single day. But it's so empowering to prove somebody wrong because they're so set in what they've seen before. But it's our jobs to change with their perceptions and to make them see that before they think that we can't do it, they go, I wonder how they can. Really important. The third thing is that you always want to fail forward. So I've made so many mistakes. I have been in a battle with Social Security. I've had issues where they wanted to completely shut off my care because I'm trying to work as an adult in this society, and the laws that are built around it just don't allow that to happen. And so instead of failing and giving up, you have to fail forward, meaning when that failure comes, take it to the next step and share your story. Show the world that just because this is how it was 20, 30 years ago when these laws were written, this is how it needs to be today. So make sure that no matter what happens, if something goes wrong, it's okay. But then embrace that failure, get back up, and fight again. Because the more we fight, that's how we empower and bring change. And the last one is just dare to be different. It's okay to not be like everybody else. Nobody wants to be like everybody else, not in my opinion. I know I sure don't. I want to be myself and I want to be different. I want to stand out because I want people to see that there is so much more to individuals with disabilities than what they see on TV, what they read in books, what their parents and grandparents have shared with them before. We are people wanting and ready to live in a society full on. We want to have access. We want to have jobs. We want to have families and everything. And so it's so important to just be different. So step out of your comfort zone, do something totally different. I know this year I went skydiving for the first time. It was indoor skydiving, so I didn't quite go as daring as jumping out of an airplane. But let me tell you, it was the scariest experience of my life, but I absolutely loved it. The indoor skydiving place was so accommodating. They made a special abilities night just for individuals with disabilities. And it was such a great experience to be able to see everybody's happiness, just being able to try something new. So I encourage you to try something new, step out of your comfort zone, and just start making more of a difference in our society that we have today. So, what's next for you? I don't know what's next for me. I have a lot of ideas. I know I want Real Life Connections to be something that people know and people are always willing to share with each other. We're doing podcasts currently where we're interviewing individuals with disabilities right now for the month of June. We're also showing different ways that I do things around my house and in my life so that I can encourage other people to maybe try new things in their life as well. So, please follow me on social media. It's Wheel Life Connections. It's a picture of a globe. You saw it on the front screen with the wheelchair zooming across because I want to make connections across the world. And then follow us on YouTube as well. Hopefully, we'll make some connections here in the near future. Again, I'm really, really happy that you're here today watching this. Unfortunately, we can't meet, but I cannot wait to see you guys next year. So, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. If you have questions, please again reach out to me on any social media. My email is wheellifeconnections@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us there. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your time and a great rest of your year. Have a great one.